If you're under the age of 18, the content of this video is not intended for you. Please stop watching now. Hey YouTube, it's Audrey, and as promised, I am back to share with you some of the cards that I made through the SCT Crop and Create Delivered virtual program that was last weekend. Actually, it was 4 days. It was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday last weekend. And I took off from work so that I could participate live for once. I did purchase the Crop and Create Delivered for the spring, but I was not able to really participate because of the surgeries that I had. So, in honor of World Card Making Day, although I haven't made a card, I did finish a card. I wanted to share with you guys the cards that I did. Now, there were 17 classes for this card, and each class was 2 hours, or this event. I don't want to say there were lots of classes, but there were 17 classes to this event. And in each class, you got a packet of goodies that came. This little 3-bowl dish that you see here is a dish that was the swag, one of the swag pieces that they gave you. They also provide in this event several different things, goodies. This is just a bag of goodies, and a lot of these, some of these, not all, some of these, like these inks here from Concord and Ninth, was from Concord and Ninth's class. And all of these companies, there are different companies that do these classes. So there was Concord and Ninth, there was Brutus Monroe, there was Spellbinders, there was Tailored Expressions, Gina K, Picket Fences, Scrapbook.com, just to name a few of them. Plus, there were a couple demos, like there's some Olo markers in this bag, and those were used for demos. One of the gifts that we got was this Tailored Expressions anti-powder tool. We got several of the pouncers from Picket Fence Studios. We have several embossing powders from Brutus Monroe. There's some Cloud Whip from Scrapbook.com. And then there's a stamp block. So there's a bag of goodies. There's also a bunch of foam squares. There's a bunch of goodies that they give you. But then they also provide the paper that you need to make the cards and the card bases, and then they also give you envelopes. So that is something that at least some of the ones that I have done have not given you the paper. Like Pink Fresh doesn't give you the paper. So anyway, there were so many classes each day, and I knew that there was no way that I was going to get all those cards done, because each class taught 3 cards. You look at 17 classes times 3, that's a lot of cards to get made in 4 days. There's a lot of homework prep to do, and I just didn't have time to do it. So I decided that I would take one class each day that I would make the cards for. I watched them all live, participated in the chat, got ideas, but I picked one that I wanted to do each day. So I managed to get, 12 cards done, because I got a set of 3 done each day. So the first one on the first day that I chose was from Tailored Expressions. And with that one, here's the kit that you got. You got this stamp set and stencil set, and it's 4 stencils and then the stamp set, and then you got this die set. And the cards that I made with that set, the first one is this one, and The colors are similar. I tried to stay with these particular ones, keep the colors similar to what the examples were. There's a couple cards that I did do a few things differently, but just for the sake of the first time, I did follow instructions. But of course, it's your card. You could do any colors that you wanted. So, and the thing was, you're not required, you could you can use what you have. That's one thing about it they stress throughout all of the previews, because for this event, I mean, this event technically has been going on for a while. They had interviews or lives with all of the instructors on different days for like a week and a half before. They have questions and answers that are still going on. They have threads that you can ask questions of the speakers, of the presenters. So a lot is involved with this one. But anyway, let me keep going. This is the first card. And then I added gems that I had. These are Pink Fresh gems. And then on this particular set of cards, Tailored Expressions provided these inserts, and they were laser printed so you could foil them. So I used my Mink machine and foil I had, and I foiled the sentiment in this blue. Hopefully you're seeing that. I think you are. So that was the first card. Then the second card was this one. And we did a lot of ink blending for several of the cards that were presented. So this is ink blended to start off as white cardstock. These stamps are in the kit. And then I did something a little different. I don't know if you can see the little white spots there, but I used a splatter stamp that I had, and that's how I got those little extra white spots in there. So you open this one up, and then it comes out like this. And this stamp here, the happy birthday, I think that one came from there. A couple of the classes mixed a couple, but I think that was part of that particular class. So that was the second one. Then the third one was this one. And this was all the images were ink blended. And then this across the bottom was also ink blended. And what we did, we put a piece of tape across it and then just did the bottom. But all of the images are done with the stencils. And then with this one, the inside I foiled in a pink. So that was the first day's one that I chose, which again was from Tailored Expressions. And the second day on Friday, I chose to do the cards from the Spellbinders class. And the Spellbinders kit included these rhinestones, this cute Merry and Bright set. And I also will say with most of the things in these classes, most of them haven't been released yet. Some of them are just starting to get released. Like I saw that scrapbook.com released the Joyful line, which is what parts of was from the class. I see that Simon Hurley from his class released his stencil and I think stamps. So there are some that are releasing them. Now some of these may not get released again until, next year, or some maybe not at all. But some of them stay exclusive. Some of them eventually get released, but just wanted to preference that so you guys aren't going looking for all of the things, because I don't think they have, well, no, they haven't released these yet. But anyway, there's this Petite Blooms and Sentiments die. And then there's this gorgeous, 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 gorgeous bow die. And they provided an embossing folder. And then they also provided the paper because scrapbooking and cards today provided the white and black and a couple tans and acetate cardstock. If there were colored cardstocks needed, several other companies added those into their kit, like Spellbinders did, because their cards use different colors. So that was the kit from Spellbinders. And then here are the cards that I made. Here's the first one. This one uses the embossing folder, and then this teal paper was in the kit. And then I will say these cards come out lovely, but whew, there's a lot of die cutting. A lot of die cutting to get all these pieces. And so the inside of this one is still blank. None of the ones except for, I think, that Tailored Expression set actually finished the inside of the cards. So that's the first one. This one I did a little deviation on because all of the cards pretty much were A2 or some kind of specialty shaped. So I made this one a little bigger. It actually was the sized around the red, and that was the A2 size. And then I added the green mat and put it on a 5x7 card because I really like larger cards. And so most of these classes that I have been taking, the cards are A2. So I've adjusted a couple so that they are bigger. But with this one, we did inlays and we did glitter. And then, of course, we also did cutting out of the florals. I also decided to matte the inside since I had the paper out. And then this green paper was my own. And then the third card, we made a shaped card with that bow die. And I just love this. You can make this a card. You could just use it on the front of a card, but in class, this is what we did. So that was the third one. And then I was playing around and had a little piece of the red left, and I had to cut out a couple, the Mary twice in red because I had forgotten to keep the little insides for that bigger card that I made. So I had these extra ones, so I made just a little gift card holder. So it has Mary Ann Bright. So that was what I made for Spellbinders. Then on Saturday, I chose to make the cards from the Gina K class. So here are the stamps. Then there were floral dies, floral stencils, dies to cut out these larger sentiments, and then this stencil set. So here is a sheet that they included so you can kind of see what the things look like. With that, the cards that I made included, with her class, they were fancy fold cards that she did. So this is the first one, and it has a piece on the back so that it stands up. And then the paper was all white. As you can see here on the base piece, we used the stencil to color a faint background pattern. And then the florals are also all ink blended with the stencils. And then you have that happy birthday. So that was the first card from there. The second card was this one. And again, we stenciled the panels here. And then we used the stencils, layering stencils for the florals in slightly different colors. And we still use the same happy birthday. And this one is a Z-fold card. And then she also gave an alternative version of this one for people who wanted a different way to do it. That was more of a gatefold. Same size, it just was folded differently. And then the last card in that class was this one, with the sending hug sentiment. It is a fold like this, but it is on a card base. So you could still write your message. It'll stand up, but it is meant to, stand up like that. And so it's just a threefold in a different way. So those were the Gina K cards. And then on the last day, last Sunday, it was Concord and 9th. And with Concord and 9th, we got the inks that I showed you. There was this stamp set with banner stamps, some little mini borders, that kind of thing. There were these dots. There is a stencil pack. And I think there are 3 stencils in here. Then there is this die set. That's flower pots. And then they also provided a pack of paper for the colors that they were using. That, of course, matched these. So, the 3 cards for that one were this one. And again, we use the stencils to make the flowers, the flower pots. And then the inside is blank for now. The second one, we again use another stencil. And then it's a top folding. And then the last card was more for a masculine feel. And you could have made these pink, but I decided since we had 2 that had pink bases and yellows, I would go with the beige and the green and white. Now this one, I'm probably going to do it again and cover it or pop it up, because the ink was very juicy and it sort of blended into like the word you. And I just don't like that as much. So I'm probably going to just do it over, cut it out, and then pop it up on top of there. So it looks a little bit more professional, a little neater. And then that's the inside. So all in all, I will say that for me, the scrapbook, or I keep saying scrapbook, the scrapbooking cards, and today I think it's the magazine, that magazine that you could get for free when you purchase things at scrapbook.com. But they do the Craft and Create Delivered, which is what this was from, and they do scrapbooking ones, They do card making ones, and then they have a holiday one coming up that's kind of a combo. I think the holiday one is going to have maybe some cards, some home decor, and I think a mini album. So I have signed up for that one. So that one is in November. So I want to see how that is. Now, they've been doing a spring one and a fall one. Next year, they're only going to do a fall one. So I'll be looking forward to that. But anyway, with all the kits from the 17 companies, all the classes, you get discount codes that last, like most of them last a good month to a month and a half. So they let you buy stuff before, after, before, during, and after. So a lot of discount codes, like I said, a lot of interaction in the Facebook group, um, meet and greets with the instructors, question threads set up for after the classes, albums to post your pictures in. So the interaction happens for quite a while. And then you can watch the videos anytime that you want to. So I had a great time finally being able to do some of these ones that I've taken live. I'll be working on doing the other 13 classes and 2 demos to get those cards done, but I felt good that I got 12 cards done. So anyway, I hope everybody got to do something for World Card Making Day, and you all have a great and a very blessed day. Bye-bye.